I've been known to sometimes meander and uh, go into certain tangents, which are either going to be great or horrible. So we'll see. Yeah, that was a very memorable and iconic year. I think I'm a big believer in like serendipity and like certain things kind of like aligning where you just kind of have to jump on these opportunities and make the most of it. We met John through an even weirder project that we did with the David Lynch Foundation, where I got to know John kind of on set, and I think about a week later, I got a really cryptic email from some weird email handle. It wasn't even like a Gmail account, and all it said was, "Hi, it's John. I would love to talk to you about something." And that was kind of it. So I responded back, and I found out that it was indeed John Malkovich, and he basically just wanted to get on the phone to talk about something. So I got on the phone with him, and he basically told me this story of that he wanted to launch a brand new fashion collection, and he had no idea how to do that online. He had done previous kind of collections before, but he wanted to own his own brand. He wanted to launch this fashion line under his own namesake, and it was a pretty big deal. And he wanted to sell this on his website. So he thought I would be the person who might know something about that. So I basically said, sure, I would love to help you out personally, and Squarespace would absolutely love to help you get online. And that started this conversation about, well, for us, having someone like John is an amazing opportunity for our brand to partner up with someone of his caliber. For John, a lot of his brand equity is actually built as an actor, and so what we decided, over the course of a couple of conversations, is like, why don't we actually package this up as a much bigger thing than just getting you online on Squarespace? Why don't we actually create a campaign around this that'll be somewhat of a misdirect story of using the equity you have as a Hollywood iconic film actor, but then doing a misdirect narrative where throughout this journey you realize that his true passion actually is fashion. And so yeah, I'm a big believer on, certain things just kind of cross your path or will fall into your lap, and you just have to make a judgment call on whether you kind of go for this or not. And that's one that we definitely feel was worth it. And Roy is someone that I've personally known and been a big fan of, and a lot of people at Squarespace have been a big fan of. But I think the mission of local was what really got our attention. And you're talking about two chefs who are some of the most highly regarded chefs in the industry, who have taken their real passion and about giving back to kind of underserved kind of areas in places in LA and Oakland and what have you. There's a conscience to it, and there was something much bigger than just another chef story, right? So we thought that was an interesting kind of narrative to tell, and we're big fans of Roy Choi, and yeah, that kind of came together very, very organically. And so yeah. Oh God, there's a lot. You'd be surprised. A bat cave that people sell. One that I remember was a horse massage business. So the sole business was a masseuse for horses. That is ultimately why I think I've been here for almost 5 years, and coming from the agency world where you get to live vicariously through different brands and their problems, it's kind of exciting because you're constantly solving a different problem. And someone always told me going brand side, you might get bored because you're effectively trying to solve the same problem every single time, just through a different kind of way in and a different angle. But I think because we kind of live vicariously through what our customers are actually making, and we get to tell their stories and put them up on a pedestal, there's never a boring kind of day here. You're constantly getting new inputs and new kind of seeds of ideas based on what the general public and our customers are actually making. So like we're living in this kind of new like gig economy right now where like everyone has a voice, everyone has the ability to kind of start their own business from a dorm room, or start their own passion project and test a lot of hypotheses out. And yeah, I think we're for a big part we're there for those creative entrepreneurs who want to carve out their own little destiny, and we empower them. We want to put those stories up on a pedestal, and we think, I mean, like, if I was graduating from school and I had something like Squarespace or the other tools that are out there at our disposal today, like, I'm not too sure I would even be here. I might have actually gone like a different direction, but we believe everyone deserves a piece of the World Wide Web that they can call their own, and so every day we're just trying to chip away and try and make a better platform and a suite of tools to empower these entrepreneurs to kind of like just go after it. I would say it's more of like a sketching tool for us to allow people to get into the conversation of the importance of design. It was never meant to replace professionals, designers by any means. To the professionals, designers out there who feel that this might be in competition or commoditizing the value of what they're doing, I would argue, like, hand on heart, and that you just have to be better. If a software can generate something that is better than the identity system that you can actually provide, you have to prove how something handmade and tailor-made and more bespoke is worth the value. And it's not just going to happen with things like logos or websites or what have you. It's going to happen like in the entire industry, kind of moving forward with different technologies out there. So I'm the worst person with stats like this. I think we're nearing 700 people. I think we just crossed 700 people, which is phenomenal. And there's, God, I remember when I joined, I think it was under 100. I would probably say. So that's been a lot of exponential growth, I think, in the last 4.5, 5 years. So yeah, we're really proud. It comes with its ups and downs with exponential growth. There's always going to be growing pains, but yeah, well, we feel like we've got a lot to do, and we want to scale like appropriately. Like you don't want to become a 12,000 employee company that doesn't know who they are and doesn't know where the North Star is going to be and where you're kind of pointed to. So we want to make sure that we're doing it our way and not just growing for growing's sake. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that that growth will continue. I think like 30,000 feet in the air, like Squarespace, like we're, as we talked about before, we feel like we've hit our stride, but we've just left like the train station. Like there's a lot that we want to do to create a much bigger suite of tools that's going to empower these creative entrepreneurs to be successful and to give them the ability to start, set up, and be successful is something that we actually care about. And yeah, we're going to continue to do that. So you're going to see a suite of new features and new products in the future that will complement that story, I would say. We're a pretty brave company. I think we've taken some really big calculated risks. A lot of them have worked out. Some of them haven't. But we want to make sure that we're working towards like ideals, and we're not just using like pure data to inform every single step or nuance of like what we're doing. So it's a constant balance, I think, and that goes in terms of like the creative work that we put out to the world. A lot of it we're taking big risks on. This thing with John Malkovich was a big risk. A lot of we're pretty transparent and we're pretty humble. Not everything has worked, but you learn from every single campaign, every feature you put out, and you kind of like unpack all of these different things, and we kind of make sure that if we make mistakes, like we fix them, and you kind of course correct. But we want to maintain the bravery, and you can't be willing to fail and fall flat on your face without doing amazing things. So it's hopefully something that we're going to continue to evolve and continue to get better at. But yeah, I'm here because we want to make the best product and the best suite of tools, and we want to build like a beloved brand that everyone knows and everyone cares about. So, but we have to be brave on both sides of the coin, I would say.